How's it going, guys? My name is Tavarish, and today we're going to be fixing and finishing some major issues with my Lamborghini's top, its interior, its battery, its wiring, its seats. We're going to do a lot today. So if you guys are new to the channel, thank you so much for joining us. Today is going to be a really fun day. Actually, my favorite type of day, because we're going to solve a very expensive problem for not much money at all. So some of you might know that I am not exactly the biggest fan of spending money just to spend money. I mean, this is an expensive car, but everything on this car has been done on a budget. So it's really important for me to get the best deal I can on everything I buy, whether it's from my car, my house, anything I find online. Which makes me super excited to introduce and thank today's sponsor, Retailmenot, who have a little browser extension called Retailmenot Genie, which does all the legwork in finding the best discount codes online for anything you need to buy, which means that I can spend more time on my car. Yay! So the Retailmenot Genie is super simple. All it is a tool that runs in the background when you're shopping online. You'll see a little R next to your search bar once you install the extension, and that lets you know that the Retailmenot Genie is working behind the scenes to search for every single deal imaginable when you visit any website that you're shopping on. So if you guys have project cars of your own, you'll know that all the nickel and dime stuff, the little things that go into a car, that can really add up. So anything that saves you not only money, but time is worth its weight in gold. So make sure to visit the link in the video description to download the free Retailmenot Genie browser extension today and start saving the easy way. You can also enter to win a $100 Visa gift card by downloading the Genie browser extension and letting me know in the comments below what deal you're most excited to use. Then I'm gonna choose the winner in the comment section. Retailmenot Genie, it saves you money, it saves you time, and it's absolutely free. It's the best of all worlds. It's like having a Lamborghini with twin turbos and you only paid the price of a Lamborghini that has been on fire. Wait, no, that's not right. Check it out in the video description below. So let's just jump right into it. My Lamborghini's top has been a pain in my butt for a long time. Ever since I got the car, it's never really worked. And every time I tried to use it, it just told me that the top cannot be used. I think it's probably an electrical issue, but since this has a lot of hydraulic components, a lot of really expensive and complicated hydraulic components, then we have to check all those to make sure that they work, and then we can check the electrical, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, this should all work like stock. But in order to get to this, I have to take out all of this. So I'm basically stripping the interior so I can show you guys what the wiring is like and what the hydraulics are like. All right, everyone, take a look at this. I have stripped the entire interior of my Lambo, and for good reason, because even though I had to take off this rear section with the window that goes up and down, I had to make sure that I have access to everything back here just to make sure that I don't have any frayed wires, I don't have anything that's going to be fouling on anything else, and also to fix a fuel leak, because I actually found a fuel leak a little while ago, and to get to it I had to take everything off. So take a look at that. You see that brown stuff? That is fuel, and the way I figured it out is because I injected a UV dye down there, and then I used a special flashlight, and you can see it's just lighting up all yellow, and that's how I know that it is 100% fuel. And this is a problem because I can't do anything, well, I can't do anything unless I take care of this fuel leak, because this is obviously gonna light the car on fire if I drive it. So this is one half of the fuel tank. This is one half, and the other half is over there. There are two fuel pumps, and they inject fuel into one side of the engine. One does 5 cylinders, the other one does the other 5. So this is the fuel feed line right here, and the fuel feed line looks a little bit kinked. Just because there's a bit of a lip right here, this blue thing, and that fuel line is kinked, so it's gonna be putting some pressure on the bottom of this, and the bottom of this is plastic. Now, I don't know if you guys can understand what I'm talking about, but I think it's leaking from down here. And the way we're gonna tell is I just have to clean all this up, then I have to run the fuel pumps. I'm not gonna turn the car on, I'm just gonna run the fuel pumps and see where all the fuel comes out. And if it comes out from here, where I think it's gonna come out, then we just have to release some of that pressure because it is actually touching right here. It's not good. So we're gonna release some of that pressure and then I think we should be good to go. Actually, before we do any of that, I have to test the fuel system, and I can't do that because the battery's dead. So the battery being dead is a problem because it doesn't charge. It's not because I haven't charged it. I've actually had it on the charger for the last few days and it just doesn't hold a charge. It's at like 10 or 11 volts and it won't even start the car. Now I can put my battery charger on it, actually my battery jump box, but I forgot to charge my jump box. So I did the next best thing and I got a battery. I got a battery. Whew. This is an Odyssey Extreme Series 34 PC 1500, and I'm just reading that off the side of the battery. But this is going to have a lot of cold cranking amps. This is actually more than what the stock battery specification recommends. This is definitely going to get the car started, and this also is a deep cycle battery, which means that I can run it all the way down without too much issue, without as much issue as I would with a stock battery. Also, I don't know how old the stock battery is, so it's probably best to just change it anyway. But in order to change it, we have to take out this trunk, and in order to take out the trunk, we have to take out 4 bolts. So let's get to that. Okay, so we have a little bit of an issue. The battery that I got apparently is not the right one. So that's what I get for listening to the forums. So the battery is not a 34 group, it's some other group, because the negative and positive terminals on my battery are 180 degrees reversed from what the negative and positive terminals were on the stock battery. But we can still figure this out and we can still have a solution, because all I have to do is put this positive right here, and the negative is removable. This is the negative, and all I have to do is connect that to any bolt on the body. And I think I have a bolt right here. That's actually the battery mount, and that is a really good ground, at least as good a ground as anything else here. So I just have to clean that up, make sure that it all fits, and hopefully we should get this new battery in without me having to return it and get something else and then wait a few more days just so my car will start.
Some 650 horsepower underneath the right foot of each of these drivers.
All right, that looks pretty good, even if it's not exactly the stock configuration. We have all the grounds ran. I actually had to lengthen this wire. This is for the intercooler pump, and I made sure that all the powers go where they're supposed to go, and the grounds are right here to a nice metal bolt, as opposed to wooden bolt. In any case, now that we got the battery hooked up and everything is looking really good, now we can try to start the car, or at least have the fuel pump on so we can see where that leak is coming from, and maybe even try that top. All right, so we have everything mocked sort of into place. This is not held down with anything. I just kind of put it into place because the top will not work without it, this rear window. Here's a few things that I have done already. This top is comprised of hydraulic cylinders, one on each side, and one, especially here on the driver's side, it has 2 Hall effect micro switches, and those can go bad, and those can give a bad reading to the ECU. I have replaced those. I found the part number, replaced those, and had them, well, I had them overnighted, then put new ones in. I rebuilt the hydraulic lines going to that cylinder because that cylinder it was subject to some fire damage. You can see that right here. The lines, however, they're all bubbled up and they had holes in them, so I had them rebuilt by a company called Top Hydraulics. And Top Hydraulics is in Seattle. They gave me a really good price, around $200, $100 per line, and that's good because you can't find these lines anywhere. It's very, very rare. Lamborghini would want probably a few $1,000s for this, so having them rebuilt by people that know what they're doing is very good, especially for a car like this. So I had that all done. Everything else checks out. I did make sure to top up the reservoir. It's actually behind here. You'll see a picture of it here. I posted it on Instagram. You have to top it up with some Pentosan CHF 11S. That's the same sort of fluid that goes into Mercedes hydraulic system, and it's pretty good because I had some laying around in the shop. So that is full and everything should work. However, I'm not sure that that's actually going to be the case. In addition, I also bought a convertible top ECU. This is a OEM part, and this I just got on eBay. This was about 350 bucks. I don't think I need this, but I just wanted to eliminate this as any issue that I could have in the future, because this one is actually my old one. I have the new one already installed. This one actually had a bent pin, and you can see that here. There was a pin right here that was just bent like 90 degrees. Maybe that was shorting out. I know that there was some shorts going on in my harness when the fire happened, so I just wanted to make sure that the ECU was not part of the problem. So we're gonna see what the issue is here. If there is an issue, hopefully the top works, but even if we can't get the top to work, I at least want to make sure that the top goes down and doesn't give us any error codes on the dash, and we can actually drive this car without it screaming at me saying that the top isn't secured. This thing is going to be yelling at me the entire time because I have the top not secure. The top is secure enough, but the computer doesn't know that, so it's just going to be yelling at me. So if you hear it beeping, I apologize. All right, here goes nothing. I'm going to put the car to the on position. I'm not going to turn it on. So the fuel pump is priming. Yeah, that fuel leak is not good. And my intercooler pump is on, which means that the battery is working. Let's see if the top works. All right, that's not bad. Okay, that's not good either. So apparently it is just lifting up a little bit and then stopping. Let's see if I can put it down. Okay, it stops and latches, so that's fine. Let me try it again. All right, so there's something wrong with a micro switch somewhere in the system. So we're gonna have to check that. I'm probably not gonna do that today, but I'm gonna just see if I just put this all the way down, can I get rid of that dash light? And let's just turn it on. All right, so we got rid of that dash light. It no longer says soft top not secure, so at least that's something. All right, onto that fuel leak. I don't want this thing to leak fuel all over the floor. Okay, so here is what I'm dealing with now. This is the top of the fuel tank, and I have taken off this right here. This is the, actually this is the return line. This is a 6AN, it's a -6 fitting. But I just got this fitting to connect to this fitting, which is a 90 degree, and that 90 degree is just fouling on the side right here. There's a raised edge. Now, I'm not sure if this is very visible to you guys. It is very finicky. That's why I did some of this work off camera. But if you just take a look down here, here we have the feed line, which is actually a small, looks like a 5/16 inch hose, and that goes into an 8AN, the -8 fitting right here, and that goes into the fuel rail. And this is a -6, which is the return, and it's just leaking fuel. So I think that our leak is right here. The leak is coming from the bulkhead fitting, and that's because when I tighten this down, this is actually creating friction with this surface right here. And when I fill this all the way up, I did just put in 15 gallons of fuel. That little gap lets the fuel escape, and then that just fills up the bowl right here. That creates a gas smell, and that also creates a hazard because you have fuel vapor, you have raw fuel, and there is an engine that is kind of going crazy back there. At least that's the idea. So what I did is I overnighted, well, I'm going to overnight some bulkhead fittings. I don't need a 90 degree. I'm just gonna do a straight fitting so this can just sit like this. It's gonna be just gonna go straight through the top, and it's gonna have plenty of clearance for everything. And I'm also gonna redo the feed line because I like this to be 8 AN throughout the entire thing, and because I don't want that weird step down, even though this is a stock connector and the stock connector is not exactly the best. So on the weekend, I'm gonna be finishing that up since I'm gonna get the fittings, but I didn't just have this interior stripped just to work on some wiring and some diagnostics. No. I had a friend work on some of the interior. This guy you might know from a little channel called Aging Wheels, and if you don't, definitely subscribe to it down below. He does a lot of really cool stuff with his Trabant and his Saab and his... I'm not, that's a little debatable. So Robert actually has been hard at work with these seats. Now these seats were my Lamborghini seats, and he has cleaned them up pretty dang good, if I do say so myself. He's been hard at work with the leather cleaner, and I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but yeah, it looks real clean right now. They were kind of dirty, and especially on a white leather car, yeah, it's not a good look. But this is, man, it is bright over here. Looks really good, looks really supple, and I can't wait.
Better.
Could be better, you say?
Could be better. If I was a dentist, that would be unacceptable as a shade of white.
Okay, well, you are not a dentist, okay? So, so I can't wait to put them back into this car, and I can't wait to finish this car. So I do have a little bit of a confession to make. I know that I haven't been putting out videos much in the last 2 weeks. Number one is because I was diagnosing this top problem. This is an issue that has been, well, it's been stuck in my craw for at least a few months. I've been doing a lot of research, and I've been trying a lot of stuff, ordering stuff, having things overnighted, and testing things out. And it's not just me just testing it and it didn't work today, so maybe it'll work tomorrow. Like, I have literally tested everything on this top, and well, obviously not everything. I'm missing something because it doesn't quite work. But yeah, I've been really hard at work at that, and I'd appreciate some help if you guys are familiar with this problem, but if you're not, then that's cool too. I think I'll figure it out in any case. But right now the top is down, which is good. And also, I hurt my neck. I actually woke up one morning and I stretched, and I think I pulled a nerve or something, but there was excruciating pain. I couldn't walk. It was really hard to move. I definitely couldn't do any car work, lift anything heavy, so this was out of the question, so I had to just take it easy for a few days. You guys are super supportive because I did put it as a post, so thank you very much for all the well wishes. I did read all of them. But this is going to get done. I am going to be working on this the entire week. Tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's usually how a week goes. But so tomorrow, actually, I am going to get my rear bumper, so that's going to be a lot of fun. But we did get a few things done today. We got the top kind of settled. Settled enough that it's not going to scream at me when I drive down the street. We got a new battery in. We fixed that, even though I got the wrong battery. And we figured out where the fuel leak was coming from, which is a really big thing because I don't want my car smelling like fuel, and I don't want this car to burst into flames like it did before. But before I leave you guys, I want to give a shout out to a fan of mine. His name is Paul Frost, and he recently passed away. He had a heart attack, and he's from the UK. And apparently he was a big fan of mine. He loved the videos, and I just want to give him a shout out. He will be missed. His friend Spencer O'Brien reached out to me, and he said that he would love well, his family would love for you to say something kind of in his honor. So, Paul, I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. More than words can convey. I know that sometimes projects like this and car communities and all that stuff can divide people, but I think that we're all a family and we can all kind of enjoy something like a car. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a Lamborghini or something a little not Lamborghini-like. We can all enjoy it and all kind of work on it together and learn and be entertained. And I really appreciate that Paul was one of the people that like the same kind of things I like. So thank you very much. Hopefully his family sees this, and if they do, then that'll make my day. So that's that. I hope I carried that okay. If you'd like to contact me, you can do so. Social links down below. If you'd like to listen to me talk, Wrench Everyday Podcast is a thing that is down below. Actually, it's not Wrench Everyday Podcast. I'm back 6 months ago. No, it's Car Guys Talk Podcast with my very good friend Andrew Howell, and we talk all the time about cars, and I think you guys will like it. If you'd like to buy one of my shirts, please do buy this one. This one has a, well, it's a warranty buster shirt, I guess. This one is actually pretty affordable. I believe it's $16.99 and or less, and all the proceeds from these shirts and everything on my Teespring store down below go to hurricane relief, at least for this month. It goes to charity every month. So this month is going to hurricane relief. Hurricane Michael just devastated everything in Georgia, some parts of Louisiana, Florida especially. So we're gonna do a good thing, and hopefully you guys get a good shirt. So until next time, this is me telling you that on cars like this that I just took apart for seemingly no reason, but there are many reasons, as you can probably guess from the video. You guys need to wrench every day.